like, comment, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching.
That's right. Life is funny, ain't it? Oh yeah. Sometimes you end up with somebody you really don't want to be with, and others left to figure it out. Check it.
Joker just popped out of nowhere. What's going on, Vonnie? What's going on, Miss Sunshine? I don't know if that's Cassie or Casey, but how you doing? How y'all doing on this this fine Sunday we having? Hope y'all had a good weekend. Oh, today Monday. Oh. I be losing track of the days. I thought today was Sunday. Today Monday. Yesterday was Sunday. You said you don't like Mondays? Oh shoot, that was what's up. You know, I'm starting to get good at this whole maintaining my peace and maintaining my vibe ordeal. One thing I'm realizing is, at least right now, that I feel like is a waste of time is arguing with people. I feel like that's such a huge waste of time. Arguing with people, trying to convince people of a different belief system or a different philosophy. I'm starting not to give a shit no more. I remember when I first started doing research on the internet, I swore that I had this information that the world needed to hear, that the people around me needed to hear. But I'm realizing that the internet can give you a false sense of expertise and knowledgeability. What's going on, BB London? And I just look at, the comment section on other people's videos and even on my videos. And I just, it's no matter how you lay it out, or no matter how plain and simple you make it, people will always see things the way they want to see them. And I look at myself in the cult. I swore up and down we was right. I swore up and down that we were doing, the right thing. I swore up and down we had the top knowledge. I swore up and down we was living a lifestyle that, other people needed to live, and that, they just couldn't let go of the things that was holding them back, and I was wrong as fuck. Wrong than a bitch. So when I see people with that level of confidence, whether it be verbally or written, I'd be like, you really think you smart? It's ironic. It's like the people who think they're the smartest are the dumbest. The people who act the toughest are the most bitch made. The people who go out their way to look like they got money is broke as hell. I'm like, damn, this shit is in like reverse. This shit is like in reverse. I'm telling you, city girl, dumb as hell and wrong as hell. And so, like, after going through that experience of having a false sense of confidence and a false sense of intelligence, I'm so much more comfortable just not knowing shit, or feeling like I know the truth. Listen, this is what you need to be doing, and you need to be doing this, and you don't need to do that, and all you got to do is this. I'm like, I'm okay with just being human, full of mistakes, full of vulnerabilities, and largely not knowing not really knowing shit. Or at least being okay with accepting that what I say is just an opinion based upon my experiences. And that I can really only tell you what has worked for me or the way I see things. I can't tell you the absolute truth of what you should be doing. I don't consider myself to be intelligent. I really don't. I really don't consider myself to be intelligent. I personally don't even bother wasting my time with any form of a ranking, interacting in society, looking at people. And I'm like, a couple of years ago, I would have swore up and down that I knew so much about this person because of their hairstyle, or because of what they chose to eat, or what they chose to wear, or the music they listen to. But I sit back and I look at, like, being judgmental is dumb as fuck. It just makes you look stupid. Because just because you have red hair, that doesn't mean you're a thought. It doesn't mean you're ghetto. You can be respectful, well-mannered, and very intelligent and still have purple hair. And I just think about how Carbonation prides themselves on going beneath the surface and encourages other people to not be surface dwellers. But all of the shit that we was talking about was some judgmental ass surface level shit. You said you don't think that you're an expert on your own personal experiences? No. I don't, like, the reason I adopted this way of thinking and looking at myself is because it allows me to bring everybody else around me down to equal plane. I don't look at anybody, celebrity, political figure, I don't look at them as better than me. I don't give a shit if you have a multi-billion-dollar business. I don't care if you are a multi-platinum selling artist. I don't care what special gift or talent you have that kind of allows you to shine above other people in that way. It does not cause me to put you on a pedestal. Like, putting somebody on a pedestal is such a terrible fucking mistake. And because I don't put other people on a pedestal, I don't even allow myself to be on any type of pedestal. Like, you can say whatever you want to say, but I don't accept these, like, whatever you see, that's fine. That's just what you see, but that don't mean I have to embrace it and accept it as my own. Like, I don't consider myself to be special or anything like that, because I really don't consider other people to be special. I personally think that we are largely similar in the things that we go through and the things that we want. Some people do a better job at promoting and marketing themselves as if they are above, or as if they are better, or as if they know more. You understand what I'm saying? Even if you have relationship advice, that advice is not going to work for everyone. A diet is not going to work for everyone. No, there is no such thing as a way, the truth, and the light. And if you're a Christian, then believe what the fuck you want to believe. You don't have to convince me. And that's another thing. Like, trying to convince people of your beliefs is whack as fuck. And that's why I don't do that no more. I do not do that. Exactly, Angela. That's how I look at it. I'm not beneath you. I'm not above you. I'm right here with you. That's how I look at it. I could have ran my own cult. Let me not do that, because I'm working on engaging people correctly, because I don't want to argue with nobody, and I know certain things trigger people to get defensive and get into an argument, certain people. But I'm learning how to diffuse shit before it could possibly even get there. Me personally, I would never want to run a cult, because in order for a group to be a cult, they have to be manipulative and abusive. I personally don't want to run a manipulative and abusive group. I don't want to run that. Me personally, I don't want to run nobody. I don't want to run nobody. You understand what I'm saying? I only want to govern me. That's as far as my authority and power needs to go. I don't run my wife. She living her own life. I don't run my son. He's living his own life. Because I remember being young and being kept in this position as if I was less than because I was younger or because I was a child. The first chance I got at autonomy, I fucking took it overboard. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, appreciate that, Rocky. Appreciate that. And I'm realizing, too, that some arguments, like, I'm a big advocate for maintaining peace. And I know it's impossible for me not to engage with people and go into, like, isolation or reclusion. But I'm realizing that sometimes it's best to just let people have their shit. Like, even if somebody's wrong as...
Hey guys, have you had a chance to check out my new YouTube channel, On the Docket with Danny? Over on that platform, I focus on true crime, current events, and I dibble and dabble a little in politics. I am also currently covering the case of the United States versus Sean P. Diddy Combs. My intention is to definitely attend, if not part of his trial, all of it. So guys, if you guys want regular updates on what's going on with Diddy, definitely consider subscribing to my new channel today.
Let people have their shit. Like, even if somebody's wrong as fuck and you know they're wrong as fuck, you have to ask yourself, do you want to be happy or do you want to be right? When you want to be right, You find yourself arguing back and forth with somebody, trying to look this up, trying to show them this, trying to get them to see it this way. And then at the end of all of that goddamn calories you burnt, this motherfucker still believe what the fuck they believe before you started explaining your side. So me, I heard somebody say that. They said, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? I want to be happy. And because I want to be happy, certain shit I don't even stir up. I let people have their shit. They can be wrong as fuck. I don't give a damn. I do not give a damn, or I have no intent to be anybody's fucking savior, anybody's guru, anybody's teacher, any of that shit. It's just not worth it. I have a limited and undetermined amount of time left to live life. I do not want to spend that shit arguing with your ass. Because I think about it. Every moment of anger, every moment of irritation and frustration is subtracting moments of happiness. Don't get me wrong. It's impossible to be positive and happy and at peace all the fucking time. It's not possible. Oh my God. In my opinion, for me, let me say for me, because that's another thing. Motherfuckers be want to argue when they think you talking about them. That ain't true. Motherfucker, I wasn't talking to you. I was just saying in general. But let me be more precise and say, for me, I can't be positive and unbothered all the fucking time. But I would like to be unbothered for at least 90%. I can deal with 90%. I'm not interested in perfection. I'm not interested in 100% from the field. I'm okay with 90%. I feel like that is good enough. And a part of maintaining that 90% is me not putting myself in a position where I'm creating a situation that is robbing me of moments of joy and peace in exchange for fucking irritation, frustration, and arguments. It's just not worth it. It's really not. Like, people make videos about me. I don't give a fuck because I want to be happy. I don't want to be right. You can think whatever you want to think, because the truth of the matter is I could do a full-on presentation on how you're wrong, and guess what? At the end of that, you still reserve the right to believe what you want to believe, irregardless of the information that might be presented to you. You understand what I'm saying? You can present somebody information that says their religion is false and that it's not true and that it has discrepancies. And that person will walk away and continue practicing that religion like they ain't seen shit. So I'm realizing that I don't even know if we give a fuck about the truth as much as we care about what works best for us. So that's where I'm at. If it works for you, great. You understand what I'm saying? Great, fabulous, phenomenal. I do not think that any one person can sit up here and say, this is what all of humanity needs to do. And honestly, as long as humans have been humans, and as long as humans will exist, there will be disagreements. Some people will want this, some people will want that. Some people will see it this way, some people will see it that way. It's just the nature of things, and I'm okay with that. I don't consider myself to be...
Hey guys, Greatness is a Habit is now available on Amazon.com. This book, authored by Aaron Dixon, aka True, has been available for quite some time on Apple Books. But now, for your shopping convenience, you can pick your copy up today on Amazon.com.
I don't consider myself to be light years ahead of nobody. I just think that we all have different traits. Some of those traits, some people like them. Some of those traits, some people don't. I know I cannot allow myself to place myself above or beneath anyone. I just don't do that. It works for me. Yeah, Lynn, I ditched the black. What's going on, Kiki? How you doing? Let me go back up here and get some of these. You say you like these talks. I'm glad that you're here to participate in these types of talks. I use it as an outlet. What's going on, Madam Yardy? I use it as an outlet as well as a training exercise, because personally I have spent a lot of my life working out and exercising, push-ups, sit-ups, military shit. But I realized that, and it hit me looking at my grandmothers, and I'm like, it's the fact that they got their mind still. They're not able to get around like they did when they were 50 or 60, and that's okay. But I am fascinated with how they can still communicate and be present in reality at that age. What's going on, babe? And so my thing is, what I want to preserve the most, and when I look at my life, right? When I look at my life, it's been my mind state and the decisions that I've made that determine the quality of my life. Like, I don't remember what the fuck I looked like in middle school. I don't remember. I have no idea what I looked like in middle school. It didn't fucking matter. You understand what I'm saying? When I look at my life, I have been able to get to where I want to get to and go where I want to go because of my mind state. And so I'm more interested in my mind and my mentality. And I look at my life and I'm like, what fucks my life up? Arguing with people, trying to prove a point. Like when I look at my life, right, as a whole, and I ask myself, what do I want to do with this time that I have left? How do I want to spend it? Do I want to spend it arguing? No, I don't. Do I want to spend it proving myself to people? No. Do I want to spend it arguing in the comment section? No. Do you know what I mean? I do not. And so I look at life, I can only look at life through my lens. And some of my favorite people, some of the people I respect the most, are those who are able to control themselves and those who are not so easily disturbed. Don't get me wrong, nobody's perfect. With these tools and devices we have, it is very easy to make your life appear to be perfect, like you got it all together. But I know that that's bullshit. I personally know that that's bullshit. It doesn't matter how much money you got. It doesn't matter what your education level is. Everybody has ups and downs in life, and I'm okay with the ups and downs. But as I'm going through the ups and downs, which I can't control, what I can control is how I deal with the shit. You know what I'm saying? So I was going back and forth with social media. Do I want to be on here? Do I not want to be on here? But I'm like, man, I fuck with social media. I like the engagement dynamic. I don't like...
Now, many of you may already know this, but Aaron has taken somewhat of an hiatus from the internet, and he hasn't been on IG or any other platform in quite some time. I hope he's doing well, and I hope he decides to come back and show his face one day.
I like the engagement dynamic. I don't like, certain shit that I see in the comments and, people harassing folks. But almost anything comes with some types of downside to it. So I'm willing to accept the downsides. Okay. Yeah, definitely, Robin. A lot of perspectives come from different experiences in life. You say you thought I would be like Jax. Hey man, people think a lot of shit. Be wrong as hell. No, it's all good, city girl. I don't get mad. I'm trying to be angry proof and argument proof. Because when I think about it, if I can just take a moment of pause, whether that be 2 seconds or 3 seconds, I can really implement a serious degree of control on my responses. So what I want to do, what I'm training myself to do, which I'm no longer training myself doing push-ups and shit, because it's some big muscular dumb motherfuckers out here. And so it's not all about the strength of the body. I feel like I will get farther in life through the strength of my mind. And so what I'm training myself to do is I'm training myself to respond in life, not react. I feel like a lot of people have ended up in jail, have ended up saying shit and doing shit that they really didn't mean. I feel like a lot of permanent decisions have been made off of temporary feelings. So I'm training myself to respond to life rather than react to life, because shit's gonna happen. You know, I want to live some more, but I don't know who next. You know what I mean? Like that shit sound grim, but I don't know who's next. It could be me, could be my brother, sister, grandma, aunt, anybody. You understand what I'm saying? But if I live a long time, that means the people, my predecessors are going to die before me. And so that shit's going to happen. Death. You know, who's to say that we don't have another COVID moment or some type of natural disaster? I know life is a curveball throwing motherfucker. And it has been throwing curveballs, and it has not stopped throwing curveballs. And I personally don't think life, no matter how positive I don't think life is going to stop giving me some form of adversity. Boom. I can accept that. I'm okay with that. I can't control that. But what I can control is that I would like to respond to life rather than react to life. I just feel like reacting to life can really cause you to do and say some shit that if you would have took a moment, you might not have done that or said that. Oh, don't we all have opinions, Jill? Everybody got one. Tomorrow's definitely not promised. You know, we say that shit but it doesn't hit us until a motherfucker die. Yeah, I agree, Robin. It's definitely how you respond to those curveballs, you know. Yeah. And I've made it, God damn it. Sometimes I think about carbonation, I'll be like, I made it out that shit. I actually untangled my mind from that shit. Because, you know, some people leave cults or other toxic, abusive, manipulative situations and they turn to drugs or they kill themselves or they hurt somebody. But I was able to unravel my fucking mind. You understand what I'm saying? So I would like to applaud myself without actually applauding myself for doing so. All right, city girl, take a nap. Yeah, because Lin, when you think about it, me personally, an inability to control your emotions, control, not suppress. I feel like an inability to control your emotions is a major fucking weakness. And it will plague you. Do you feel that the older you get, the more you become an observer and quiet? I don't think it necessarily has anything to do with older or age, because wisdom and age are not always congruent. You understand what I'm saying? Because there are people who are in their 20s that carry themselves like they're 30. And there's some people who are 30 that carry themselves like they're 16. So it really all depends. Me personally, I feel like when you get sick and tired of your own shit, that's when you change. When you get when you get sick and tired of your bullshit, when your bullshit pile up so much that it starts stinking to you, then I feel like that's when the wisdom kick in. I feel like wisdom is just you being able to pinpoint and recognize how you're contributing to the shit you talking about you don't want in your life. It's not that bullshit Nature Boy and other cult leaders be on, try to make it seem like if a motherfucker hits you, you attracted it to you in some type of way. That's some bullshit. You taking it too far. But there is a level of personal responsibility we must seek in how we are contributing to the things we say we don't want to see in our life. If you're in an abusive relationship, it's the universe ain't hitting you through a motherfucker. That's dumb. But it is your responsibility to separate from the relationship. It's not your fault. You don't take responsibility for a motherfucker putting their hands on you, because a motherfucker need to keep their hands to themselves. But you must take your power back from the relationship so that you can walk away and give yourself better. You're not responsible for the abuse, but you are responsible for feeling like you deserve better. Because typically we stay in bullshit scenarios when we feel like we deserve it, whether that be on a conscious level or a subconscious level. When we start feeling like we deserve better, we don't tolerate certain shit. We don't go certain places. We don't allow people to talk to us in any kind of way. We don't talk to other people any kind of way. So it just goes back to, what the hell do you want in your life, man? And what's the best way to go about getting it? That's why I don't get wrapped up in the the government this and white supremacy this and all that shit like that, man. When I look back at my life, the motherfucker that fucked up my life the most was me. when I look back at my life, it was me that was fucking my shit up more than anything and anybody else. That's not to excuse other people's behavior, but it is to say, you know what? Had I taken some time and not rushed and jumped into that, maybe I could have got a different outcome. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, yeah, I'm at this job. I don't like the job. Okay, let me not sit up here and complain all day. Let me start getting my shit together so I can go somewhere else. This relationship trash. Let me stop trying to tell this person what they need to do and how they need to change. Let me just start positioning myself to go get somebody that's already that. Because one thing people don't like is fucking criticism. I gotta stop that shit. Criticism ain't worth a fuck. The last thing somebody wanna hear is you correcting them. Because it doesn't matter how many views or how many followers somebody got. When a motherfucker start correcting us, we look at their ass like, bitch, who the fuck is you? Mind your damn motherfucking business, bitch. First of all, I didn't ask you. Second of all, I don't like you. Third of all, die. I don't criticize people. Don't nobody want to hear shit from me. If you don't shut your ass up, you just in Nature Boy cult, motherfucker. Shut the fuck up. I can't help nobody. I can't help nobody coming at you like I know and I got it figured out. Nigga, we were trying to be nice to your ass. And now that you done got on my damn nerves, your dumb ass was in a cult for 4 years. You can't tell nobody shit. So I made sure I make sure we here. Everybody I meet, we here. Because I know what Ralph Waldo Emerson said, that in some way, everybody I meet is my superior. In some type of way, you, whoever you are listening to this, in some type of way, there's something that you can do or something you know that is superior to my abilities and my knowledgeability. So because of that, we automatically fall on equal planes. But some people try to hide behind their gifts and their strengths and act as if they are good in all fields. That's not true. It's not true. I might be gifted in one thing, but just because you're not gifted in that area does not mean that you're inferior or less than me. If you make more money than me, that don't mean you better than me. If you got a higher degree than me, that don't mean you better than me. There is no better than me. There is none of that shit. His name is Ralph Waldo Emerson. Some writer, some guy. And I had a thought today too. I was like, I just do not feel like religion represents God accurately. Like they say things, like I remember this shit just popped in my head. It was like the Bible say God knows every hair, the number of hairs on your head. And I was thinking to myself, getting to heaven and God being like, why the fuck would I want to know that? Yeah, I just do. Sometimes the picture they paint of God just does not match up with how I feel God is. Like, I just don't. God, how many hairs are upon my head? Nigga, I don't know. Why would I want to know some dumbass shit like that? And what can you say? It's God. Like, what can you say? Like, you can't say shit. You could be like, damn, that is stupid. And what if everybody go to heaven? Like, that shit just destroys religion. What if everybody go to heaven? Like, what if everybody go? What if everybody go? What if you're in line and God is just like, go? Everybody that gets up there, you waiting for somebody to get turned around, and God's like, go. Go. Come on in. Come on in. Yep. Come on in. Yep. Come on. You could come in too. Yeah, come on. Everybody. Yep. I know you thought people was going to hell. Everybody's coming in. Yeah, everybody coming in. And it's like, the reason I think like that is because I know how it feels to like hold a grudge against somebody. And I'm thinking to myself, why would God want to remember all of your sins? Like, that shit is stupid. Like, who wants to carry that around? Like, I feel like God got better shit to do than to track all of my damn sins. Like, I don't even think God give a shit. Like, I think God probably don't even remember. Like, and that bothers people because that bothers some religious people because they want it to be a game. They want it to be a proving. Like, Nature Boy used to say that shit. Like, this is a proving ground. You gotta prove yourself. And I feel like this nigga Nature Boy felt never, like, whoever he was around, they never made him feel, or either he just retarded, but something in him just doesn't feel enough. So he has to do all of these proving things. Like, he has to prove everything. And everybody around him has to prove their worthiness. And I just don't think God as big as God is, I just don't think God is watching people to see how hard they're gonna prove themselves. Like, imagine your children, do your children have to prove their worthiness to you? Or did you love them the moment they got here? Or the moment that you realized that they were about to be born and that you was pregnant and shit. So I'm like, if humans have the capacity to forgive people to that degree and we're flawed, surely a divine magnitude, omnipotent, omnipresent being like God is not giving a fuck. I just personally just do not see God doing that. I just don't see God like that. People just swear you're born into sin. Like, nigga. Like, it's like they give you, like they try to sell you this idea that you came here fucked up. And so you gotta spend your life fixing yourself and making it right. I just ain't rocking with that shit. Me personally, I'm not rocking with that shit. I am not rocking with that shit. I have never seen a baby and have been like, look at this sinful creature. I just cannot subscribe to the idea that we came here fucked up and that I have to spend the rest of my life proving that I'm worthy to go to heaven by doing X, Y, and Z. I just do not think God give a fuck. I don't think God give a fuck. I think God is like, at the end of it all, he's like, you didn't do too bad. Just the way religion paints God, the shit's just not adding up with me. Like, that's why I urge people to have their own relationship with God, because religion can make you feel like a piece of shit until you die. God be like, well, I looked at everything. Didn't look like you did too bad. Come on in. The religion shit just ain't resonating with me. What are my thoughts on Jesus? I think Jesus came to tell people, like, it ain't that serious. Y'all motherfuckers is way too uptight about this life after death shit. Listen, it's all good. Jesus was like, it's all good. Everybody chill. Jesus was like, wait, y'all is too serious about this shit. It's like, it's all good. I just can't get the religion is so rigid. It's all of these hoops you have to jump through. And if you don't jump through the hoops, God ain't gonna like you. And it's like, I just don't see God spending his time keeping up with all of these folks and they bullshit. Like, I really don't think. I'm like, God got other shit to do. I just think that. That's just my opinion. And I get to have my opinion. I get to have it. I don't mess with nobody's religion. I don't argue about religion. I don't assert my religious beliefs. And if you try to do the same to me, I'm just not gonna entertain you. That's it. Like, I realize that people who like drama, they need you to participate. Otherwise, they feel stupid. Like, imagine somebody who liked the gossip, but you won't feed it. Like, did you hear about so-and-so? What you think about so-and-so? Nothing. Yo, you heard about so-and-so now? What you think about? Nothing. That make people who like to gossip and keep up drama feel stupid without you saying it. So there's certain, like, it's a lot of shit that is going on in our lives. It's present because we entertain it. It's present because we entertain it, whether that be digital or physical. Like, I just can't entertain it. Like, if you're mad, that's not the green light that I'm supposed to be mad because you mad. If you mad, you gonna be mad by yourself. What's up, Lisa? What's going on? Yeah, I share that same opinion too, Cherie. Some religions do operate like cults, just subtracting the godlike figure that they have to answer to, which arguably could be the pastor. Kay, what's going on? How you doing? But it doesn't matter to me. You can practice whatever you want to practice. I do not care. You can eat whatever you want to eat. You can dress how you want to dress. You can think whatever you want to think. I do not care. Moonchild Stardust, what's going on? Today is not Sunday. That's crazy. And I realized too that the less problems you have with yourself, it seems as if you have less problems with other people. Because it's kind of hard to be upset and mad at somebody that just won't entertain your bullshit, that just will not feed your bullshit. I pay attention to it. Like, you can see people baiting. Like, sometimes you can see people baiting you up. Like, oh, don't go over there. I heard da-da-da-da-da. You know, you got two different choices. You can either try to argue that person down on why they wrong, which that means you want to be right. Or you could choose to be happy and let them think whatever the fuck they want to think. I don't have to prove to you that my decision is the decision that I want to make or why I want to make it. You've been at peace since 2012. Keep it going. Keep it going. I ask myself now, do I want to be right or do I want to be happy? I could argue this person down about veganism. I could argue them down about why I don't go to church. I could argue them down about X, Y, and Z, or I could let them think whatever the fuck they want to think and not give a damn. I could try to set the record straight about what people think about carbonation and what happened there, or I could just not give a fuck. People who like gossip and rumors and drama and shit like that, they don't give a damn who they get it from or where they get it from. If you don't entertain it, you will be of no value to them. People who like to argue need people to argue with. If you're not the arguing type, you will be of no value to them and they will be forced to find it elsewhere. I know the game here. People who mad want somebody to be mad with or somebody to be mad at. But if you refuse to join them in their bullshit, they will be forced to find somebody else who will. You ain't got to get mean. You ain't got to get ugly. If we pay attention to it, people feed off of energy. So if they know they can get a reaction out of you, if they know they can get a response out of you, they gonna keep doing it. Oh, I feel like arguing. Who can I go argue with? Yeah, that motherfucker argue with me. All I gotta do is say something about veganism. All I gotta do is say something about Jesus. All I gotta do is say something about astrology. All I gotta do is say something about black folks. All I gotta do is say something about the government. All I gotta do is say something about aliens, and I got his ass. Me personally, and you ain't getting shit. You ain't getting a damn thing. I ain't giving you a damn thing. I ain't giving you shit. Not giving you shit. I'm not giving you shit. Exactly, Quills. I don't think we change anybody's mind anyway. I think people decide to change their mind when they good goddamn ready to. And me personally, I don't care what you do with your life. The complainers, I don't even give them advice no more, KUSD, because this lady called me. Talk about she needs some therapy. I said, well, I'm not a therapist. I can't provide you no therapy. I entertained her conversation. And I realized this motherfucker didn't want no damn therapy. She just wanted somewhere to dump her bullshit. She just wanted to dump her bullshit. And I was like, man, and as I'm listening to her, I'm like, but why you call me? You understand what I'm saying? I said, why you call me? You understand what I'm saying? What the fuck you want from me? I'm not no goddamn therapist. I'm not no relationship coach. I'm telling you, Shikari gave the advice and had a reason why the advice wouldn't work. Don't call me. And then at the end of the shit, she talking about something. I'm sorry I wasted your time. No, the fuck you ain't. No, the fuck you ain't. Because if I would have stayed on the phone, you would have kept wasting it. You a lie. I ain't going to tell her that. Because that would have caused an argument. I'm argument proof. I got to get me some t-shirts called argument proof. Listen, Moonchild, I'm glad you said that. Because let me tell you something how I feel about relationships. Not just boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, but with the people in general. Before you engage with other people, you have to make sure that you are good with yourself. Because your mama and your daddy were supposed to do certain things for you so that you would be okay when it was time for you to move out and get with somebody else. You cannot get mad at your boyfriend or girlfriend or husband and wife when they don't want to be your fucking psychiatrist. That's not their damn job. It is not my job to fix your ass. It's not your job to fix me. Listen, a relationship is not about people fixing each other and completing each other. You should already be goddamn complete enough to the point that you're not so goddamn insecure that you can't even enjoy the relationship. You cannot enjoy a relationship when you goddamn think everything that person do is building up and tearing down your self-esteem. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's not. It's not. That's not my job. My job is not to be your fucking dad. Nature Boy is that's a dumb bitch. That nigga was saying some wrong ass shit that sounded good. It is not my job to be your daddy. And he's not the only person that thinks that. You have a lot of people hopping on these podcasts with a good ass microphone and a fresh lineup, making it look like they know what the hell they talking about. As a man, you supposed to come in and be her father. And as a woman, you supposed to come in and be... I don't need no fucking mother. I'm a grown-ass man. I'm a grown-ass man, okay? I'm a grown-ass man. And you should be a grown-ass woman. That don't mean that we don't care about each other. But I am not about to treat your ass like a child. I'm not. I'm not treating you like no fucking child. I'm not. To be what your father was not. And I do not expect you to be what my mother was not. That's some shit I need to look at and work on with people that are qualified to do that shit. Because being a psychiatrist and a therapist is not easy. It's not easy, nigga. But some people think that that is what it means to be a boyfriend and a girlfriend and a husband and a wife means you supposed to take on your partner's bullshit. That is not, you do not have to agree to that. We out here looking for goddamn fixer-uppers. You can get with somebody that's already ready. Y'all motherfuckers act like you gotta get a broke down motherfucker. Do it make you feel better to try to build a bitch? You can get with somebody that's already ready. Y'all motherfuckers act like you gotta get a broke down motherfucker. Do it make you feel better to try to build a bitch? That's not you don't have the time for that shit. And how many times have you tried to fix a motherfucker? 5 years later, the motherfucker still broke. Realizing that you can't fix nobody. People can only fix themselves. They can only fix themselves, man. You ain't qualified. You don't have the credentials. You don't have the training, the expertise to do that shit. Because to be a therapist and a psychiatrist, you have to basically work somebody's mind out for them. And that can be draining, especially when somebody can't see some shit that you feel like they should be able to see at their age or whatever. It's just certain shit you shouldn't have to explain to people. If you at a certain point in yourself, you need to get with somebody that's at a certain point in they self with you. I ain't fixing nothing. I ain't fixing nothing up. That ain't my job. I'm not your daddy. None of that. I feel like, this is just my opinion, damn. But I feel like people who like to play the mommy daddy roles do that because it gives them a sense of authority in the relationship. That's just me. You understand what I'm saying? When you have people calling you daddy and people calling you mama, that shit weird, man. I ain't gonna hold you. That shit weird.
Hey guys, have you had a chance to check out my new YouTube channel, On the Docket with Danny? Over on that platform, I focus on true crime, current events, and I dibble and dabble a little in politics. I am also currently covering the case of the United States versus Sean P. Diddy Combs. My intention is to definitely attend if not part of his trial, all of it. So guys, if you guys want regular updates on what's going on with Diddy, definitely consider subscribing to my new channel today.
That shit weird, man. I ain't gonna hold you. That shit weird. To me, that shit weird. I don't want this to be a father, daughter, mother, son space. I just do not feel right with a grown-ass woman calling me that. I'm not your daddy. I'm not. I'm really not. And you're not my mother, man. You're not. To each his own. If you feel like you rock with that, then you rock with that. You understand what I'm saying? I just don't want to, I don't. I'm telling you, y'all, like, that's your daddy. We just spending our life together. That's still your daddy. And that's my mama over there. There you go, she over there. That's my mama over there. You can still be you. You understand what I'm saying? That's my mama over there. I want a relationship where we're peers, where we on the same playing field. The daddy shit sound weird. The only person I want calling me dad is my son. Because that's what I am.
Okay, everyone, I have some really exciting news. Janae's book, Lesson Learned, is now available on Amazon.com. The paperback version is $25.55 and the hardcover is $47.90. So you can actually pick her book up on Amazon.com today.
That's what I am. Nobody else should be calling me daddy, just me, personally. And the only people I refer to as mama is my mom, grandma, and mother-in-law. Ain't nobody else mama, bruh. And to me personally, when somebody, like, I don't want to feel, me personally, I think it's dangerous and also a waste of time to try to fill the void of a parent with a partner. It's two different things. A partner cannot be your parent. It just no. Oh, ex-Jehovah's Witness. I've heard a lot about Jehovah's Witness from Jehovah's Witnesses. And if they keep it up, Jehovah's Witnesses is going to be exposed. Yeah, I'm putting it on YouTube, Sierra, don't worry. When the mind is free, it's limitless. You know what else is funny, Lao Tzu? I like how you put that take on the Chinese guy. But what I realize is that the mind doesn't really need that much shit. It's almost like the mind only needs to know basic shit, and those basic principles apply to almost everything. It's almost like instead of reading this book about how to interact and form great relationships, you can probably simplify and reduce that book down to one word, or one statement. Treat people how you want to be treated. That shit can save you hours upon hours upon hours of listening to a podcast or reading a book where a motherfucker says just that, but does it in a long ass version. I remember reading the book, and at the end of the book, I realized this nigga basically said the title, he basically reiterated the title of the book in 400 different ways, in 400 different stories, in 400 different examples. And I'm like, I could have just read the fucking cover of the book and put it back on the shelf at the library, because I literally just read this nigga saying the cover of the book over and over again in different ways. Who the hell is...
Hey guys, Greatness is a Habit is now available on Amazon.com. This book, authored by Aaron Dixon, aka True, has been available for quite some time on Apple Books. But now, for your shopping convenience, you can pick your copy up today on Amazon.com.
In different ways. Who the hell is Mark Jeffries, Yardy? I don't know who that is. I did not know Jay-Z was Jehovah's Witness. That's interesting. Hey, what's going on, Netta? Thank you. Yeah, I'm really enjoying the color change. I'm really enjoying that. Carbonation and being in a cult or any controlling dynamic will really have you thinking everything you do has to have this scientific fucking reason behind it. It's like, I just don't want to wear the same shit every day. But I did have a legitimate reason for wearing the same shit every day, though. But it ran its fucking course. You say all religions are cults? Okay. Yo, I'm gonna get so good at that shit. I'm gonna get so good at managing my energy to the point where I'm going to be so unfuckwittable on the internet and in real life. I don't even think I seen Luz and Isaiah, honestly. I can look that nigga up on the computer. Cause you already thought for sure, Get Rich or Die Trying. I seen that movie now, but I ain't watched Power like that. What this nigga know? I probably gonna know him as soon as I see his face. I do good with faces. Oh, Mark Jeffries. Oh yeah, I know Mark Jeffries. Okay, yeah. Man, why y'all didn't say freaking the baseball movie? Wasn't he in the baseball movie? He wasn't in the baseball movie? What's the name of that movie with them boys playing baseball? Not BX, Stand Up. Hardball. He wasn't in Hardball? Okay, never mind. But I know who you talking about. I thought he looked like he could have been in Hardball though. But yeah, I done seen that dude before plenty of time. That boy, he was in Hardball.
Aaron,
What's going on? Hey, how you doing?
good. How are you?
I'm good, man. Everything is everything.
That's what's up. My phone died yesterday. I was so mad.
Oh, that's what happened.
Was that yesterday?
Shit, I don't remember. I thought today was Sunday.
You thought today was Sunday? You so silly.
I thought today was Sunday for real. That boy 33 years old. Oh, he 5'3". That's why he be playing them little boys.
Hey, Ada waiter.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's crazy.
Aaron, can I ask you anything?
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So, do you remember what I asked you last?
What, a couple days ago?
Yeah.
No, so don't.
I think it was about the diss track, but then I was like, I asked if you were gonna do visuals.
Oh no, I ain't doing no music video.
Okay. Um. When did you realize that you were gonna testify against Nature Boy?
Man, so I went back and forth, right? I remember one day we was at my grandma's house and my auntie was out there, and I asked her because I had called December 2022. I called uh, Attorney Pasmino because I had called December 2022. I called uh, Attorney Pasmino, and I told her, I was like, anything y'all need from me, let me know. And I told him, I asked my aunt, I said, you think I should get involved with this or should I leave it alone? And she was like, you back home now. She was like, put that behind you, leave it alone. And I took that for a little bit, but then I was like, nah, fuck that. I was like, nah, fuck that. I was like, nah. I thought about like a movie scene. I thought about it. I was like, how can I just sit back and just act like this shit ain't going on? Like I wasn't there. I was like, if they ask me, I will. If they don't need me, at least I put myself out there to be of use in this because what really did it for me, what made me be like, nah, fuck that, was I was thinking, what if I don't say nothing and this nigga get off and go out here and keep doing what the fuck I know he been doing. So I was like, nah, I can't let this nigga ride off of this shit. Not off of what I know and seen with my own two damn eyes. You understand what I'm saying? And heard with my own ears. So I was like, I gotta get involved in some type of way because I ain't about to be looking back 20 years from now thinking if things would have been different had I got involved. You understand what I'm saying? So, and then another thing is,
I ain't even finna hold y'all, but people could say whatever they want to say about Aaron, but he is an amazing man. He made sure that he didn't stay silent. Like he said, he knows what he saw and heard with his own ears, and he couldn't let that ride.
got involved. You understand what I'm saying? So, and then another thing is, uh, me personally, I feel like the internet don't count really. If you show up in real life, that's when it matters. You understand what I'm saying? Anybody can say anything and do anything or present themselves to be some type of way on the internet. It's really easy. I can make myself look rich on my Instagram page really easy. You understand what I'm saying? With the AI and the photoshopping and all that stuff like that. But I said to me, for me, how am I going to feel about myself if I let Janae, because it was just Janae one point. It was just Janae by herself. I was like, I cannot just let Janae go up there and face this on her own. You understand what I'm saying? And I said to myself, especially afterwards, I was like, everybody that's coming out the woodwork now, you don't count because if you were for Nature Boy when he needed you, you wasn't there, and if you was against Nature Boy, you didn't. You showed up on somebody's YouTube channel as if that matters at all. I'm like, if this really affected you, you would have showed up at the courtroom, whether against or for Nature Boy. All this internet shit without the real life actions is null and void. It's null and void.
So do you have a relationship with do you have a relationship with Janae, Velvet, Solar, any of them at this point?
I ain't gonna tell you who specifically, but I do have because the relationships I do have with former members is real, and the conversation we have is real. So ain't no point for me to make a show out of it on the internet. I have a relationship with certain members and some members I don't. I can't talk on them because it look lame as hell when I see people talking about me. You understand? You spending your life talking about me, and I'm spending my life talking about me. But it makes sense when I'm talking about me because I'm me. You understand what I'm saying? But so you'll never catch me talking about anybody other than the people that are actively there, because I want them to stay interested in what I'm saying, hopefully to the point where they'll eventually break up out of it and we can have a good laugh about all this shit when they get to the other side.
As of today, November 4th, 2024, Eligio Bishop, aka Nature Boy, aka Chief, life in prison plus 10 years without the possibility of parole, has been incarcerated for roughly 2 years and 8 months. Currently, he still has his very few loyal followers: Team Too Much, Aya, aka Porsche Wade, Afro, aka Kayla Buckner, Zoka, aka Jean Marie Hamilton, aka Kyrenda Carter, and Malia, aka Tanisha Dulay, are all still down like 4 flat tires, y'all.
Break up out of it and we can have a good laugh about all this shit when they get to the other side. But as far as my personal relationships and personal opinions about former members, some some of it is private. We real friends. Ain't no point to come on here and tell you what we talked about. And secondly, some people I can't formulate no opinion because I don't watch none of their shit. Like after a while, right? If I see one of your videos and you doing some lame shit, and I see another one of your videos, you saying some lame shit, I'm gonna stop watching you. You understand what I'm saying? So I can't even tell you about some of the former members because to me, ain't no point for me to watch them. We ain't on the same page. You do you, that's fine, bro. But I'm not. The only people I care to keep up with are the people who are still there. That's it. The former members around the perimeter, I wish you the best in sorting your mind out and figuring out where you gonna go from here. But nah, exactly, Nicole. Free them folks. But they gotta free themselves though. That's the crazy part about it, man. And it's amazing how powerful psychological manipulation is to the point where even in his absence, what he did to them is still running on autopilot. The shit is fascinating, man. The shit is fascinating to watch.
Are you still with your wife, Kendra? Do you guys go on dates?
What kind of question is that?
Because
What
I mean,
kind of
you
question is
don't
that?
really, you're not really open about that. But I'm just wondering, like, what do you guys like to do?
Can't tell you, man.
You
I
said
wish I could
you
tell.
can't tell me.
I can't tell you what we like to do, you know?
That, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. My daughter, she
Okay.
wants my attention. I'm sorry, but it was really nice talking to you, Aaron.
You too.
I'll tap in with you later.
All right.
Okay, bye
All
bye.
right. Well, I mean, yes, it is crazy how their mind is still wrapped. But the crazy part about it is, Nicole, he don't have their mind. They fighting themselves. That's the crazy part about it. They are fighting themselves at this point. And certain things just aren't there. they aren't worth talking about to me. What do you think the last six can do to get away from nature, boy? Me personally, I think one of the best things that could be done for each one of them is if they could think to themselves, finally. You got to think, Malia, Ephru, Aya, Zoka have not had adequate enough time with themselves. They have always been around somebody else, or have always been on the receiving end of somebody else's influence. They have to reestablish, regain, and reconnect with their own ability to reason because their trust in themselves is gone. Nature Boy made those women think that they were demons, that they were chaotic, and that they don't have their own mind. And they actually believe that shit at this point. It's not because they dumb, it's just the nature of the brain. If you are exposed to the same shit over and 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 over again, your brain will begin to accept that shit, no matter how ridiculous it is. This is not the first instance of Stockholm Syndrome. This is not the first instance of brainwashing. This shit has happened since people have been people, and it will continue to happen. How does one gain mental strength after being with someone so damaging like that? I can't tell you. I can only tell you what the hell I did. I can't copy and paste what the hell I did onto other people. What I feel like was the most effective method of regaining my mental strength was educating myself about what happened. Because if you sit with yourself and you don't do no research, you'll start thinking that you's an idiot, that you're crazy, that something wrong with you. But when you look at the history of cults, millions of people have fallen for this, and millions of people are still engaged. And you can see cult dynamics in other areas, such as abusive one on one relationships. You can see it in relationships at work. You can see it in religion. These methods of brainwashing and control are not limited to cults. You can see them in different places. When you educate yourself, you be like, oh, that's how that shit happened. Okay, so this shit happened to these people too. So I'm not dumb. This is what happened. These are the techniques that was used. Even the Stanford prison experiment, designed to go for 2 weeks, had to be terminated in 6 days because the people began to lose their mind and they knew it was an experiment, which shows that the human mind is a lot more vulnerable than we sometimes like to think it is. We like to pride ourselves on being so advanced and so intelligent, but that does not dismiss the vulnerabilities of the human mind. Everybody in here has been misled, deceived, scammed in some type of way. Cults are just on the more extreme end of the spectrum. The Stanford University, it's called the Stanford Prison Experiment. They have a whole website dedicated, detailing the sequence of events that occurred. They even have the old original pictures on the website. They tell you exactly what happened, why it had to be stopped, what the prisoners were doing, what the guards were doing. That dude Philip Zimbardo is amazing for that experiment. Like, to even think of that is amazing. All humans are subject to influence, but it's an issue when you impose undue influence on people. The Stanford prison experiment is when a psychologist created a simulated environment on campus in which a group of students, one group was the guards and one group was the prisoners. He gave them a set of rules. The guards had a certain set of rules, and the prisoners had a certain set of rules, and they could not leave the experiment. But after a few days, they started losing sight that it was an experiment, and the guards actually started treating the prisoners like real prisoners, and, and they knew it was an experiment going into it.
Hey, bro.
What's going on with you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay. Were you talking about the prisoner experience? Experiment?
yeah.
Okay. So if you don't, I don't want to interrupt what you're saying,
Is this about to be
but
a teaching? Is this about to be a teaching moment?
no, hell no. You're
Oh,
teaching
okay.
me.
No, I'm just talking.
No, I think that it's so appropriate and important that people know about these kinds of things, because a lot of, well, kind of kind of a teaching thing. Sorry, but what you're saying is absolutely right. A lot of people did not know that this experiment was going on, and did you get to the point where the riot happened for
I
that
think
experiment?
I think so. I have
Sorry.
experienced it in three different ways. I seen a movie that I believe
Hmm.
was on Netflix called The Experiment, which was supposed to be based upon that. Of course, it got Hollywood, you know what I'm saying, implemented
Right.
into it for theatrical for a theatrical element. And I also went to the actual website, and I
Hmm.
also briefly read about it and have had it mentioned in a psychology class that I took. But I have not studied it to the degree that I probably should have. But the main point that I gathered from it, it is that it's amazing that people can be brainwashed
Hmm.
and know that it's an experiment. You understand what I'm saying? Like that's the crazy
Yeah,
part about it is.
because every single person in that experience experiment. I keep saying experience, but maybe experience is actually the appropriate word. Right? So the prison guards were the prisoners, and the prisoners were the prison guards, correct?
I really didn't want to go into the prison experiment
Oh, oh,
because
oh.
people
Okay,
can
sorry.
people can just go and look that shit up on their own. I just wanted to throw the name out there
Hmm.
and let people
Hmm.
do their own research, and really look at how fascinating it is as to how our minds can be shaped given a certain situation or a certain atmosphere, a certain environment. Like
Correct.
it's people often wonder like how do good people end up doing some bad things, and it's amazing how the mind can shift and
Hmm.
bring out some elements about a person that might not have otherwise been brought out.
May I ask you a quick question, Aaron?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the purple people?
No.
Google that. The purple people was, oh, I don't want to say things to trigger you, but they were a group, and the quote unquote intention in the beginning was a good, righteous thing, but very quickly it turned into something benevolent that was not good. So you probably want to check that out too. Um, and I know you're researching a lot of that kind of behavior, correct? No, no, you're not doing that anymore.
I'm on and off with it. I
Okay.
have gotten to the point now where I am just focusing on basic elements of
Mhm.
human behavior, and
Okay.
I will touch on other groups at different
Okay.
times, but it's not something that I wake up and I'm like, yeah, what cult topic am I going
Mm,
to study today?
I respect that. And I think that that's probably a very healthy way to approach certain things to actually understand what you went through, um, and other people have went through, but to see what it is, but at your own pace and your own timing, if that makes sense.
It does.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt your broadcast. I just came up to say hey, and also, bro, that little ditty you put out there, your rap,
Oh, the
man,
song.
man, that was the cleanest, purest form of expression I've heard in a very, very long time. And I come from 80s and 90s kind of rap without telling you how old I am. I'm an old lady. But that was like some smooth stuff. I felt you in that, and I respect you for that. And I want to say, man, claps, big claps to you. And I know that's not even what you were looking for. You were just really trying to express yourself, but it was so respectful. So I thank you for speaking for a lot of people that feels that way for this particular situation.
Okay.
So anyway, peace. I wish you love and light. Have a good day.
All right. You do
Bye.
the same. All right.
Thank you. Bye.
Very good, Cash Barbie. I mean, we can see it with celebrities. We see it with advertisements. We see it with marketing. You know what I'm saying? As soon as a rap artist does one thing, and then you see all the young boys now they're doing it. You a celebrity female does something, and then you see all the shit. Not even little boys, hell, grown ass men and grown ass women be following right up behind that shit. Like we are always subject to being influenced by something. Appreciate that, treasure. I'm getting good at this shit, man. I'm getting good at this. Like I realize that people really don't give a fuck. When some people just want to be heard, and, and some people just want to talk. It's like sometimes people aren't even looking for you to respond. And I just I'm getting good at this shit, man. I'm getting good at this shit. Like I'm getting good. Oh, it is, isn't it, Moonchild? It's crazy. It's fascinating and it's scary at the same time. fascinating and scary at the same time. I'm glad people are coming up because it's allowing me to practice. It's allowing me to practice. It really is the main reason I got my liberal arts degree. Okay. It's amazing. Have I broken? Have then people start gassing themselves up. Have I found the keys to the universe? It's like, nigga, you just recognize the pattern. Oh my God. People make an observation and swear they found the hidden codes of fucking Egyptian pyramids. I realize that some people don't know how to respond when you don't give them the energy that they're expecting. I love that shit, man. It's crazy, ain't it, Miss 007? It's crazy. I don't like school, but I like studying patterns. At least you know what you like. Speaking of that, like, I realize I don't like reading. I do not like fucking reading. I like listening to people talk. And I like hands-on learning. And I think about school and I think about how I would imagine there must be, I would imagine there's people who are still scarred, even as adults, who think that they're stupid. But it's just that they just, everybody has a different learning style. So even if you can't read well and retain information, you might be able to retain it good as shit if somebody said it to you. Or even if you can't read or comprehend that well verbally or written, maybe you're the type of person that needs to do it. And once you do it, you got it. So it's like I imagine how many people could actually pass medical school just with their hands, but they can't pass it with their writing or their vocabulary or their vocal skills. I think about that, which also lets me think about how people who can talk good can sell themselves as being intelligent, because sometimes we do have this strange way of judging people's intelligence based upon how well they can talk. Like if somebody talks a certain way, it's not uncommon for somebody to say, "Oh, you sound ignorant." Or it's not uncommon for people to hear somebody use words in a certain way or use vocabulary words that they may be unfamiliar with and say, "Oh, this person sounds intelligent." But it's some dumb motherfuckers that know how to talk good and don't be saying shit. And it's some people who are falsely perceived as ignorant because they're not verbally or orally gifted. But if you give them the tools, you would be like, dang, this person is a genius. That's why I think it's important for us to know who we are and what works best for us. Because I had to be honest with myself. I'm like, I don't like fucking reading. This shit's stupid. Like reading for 2 hours, that shit, I'd be like, but I can listen to somebody talk for 2 hours easily. It just does. It's
Hey guys, have you had a chance to check out my new YouTube channel, On the Docket with Danny? Over on that platform, I focus on true crime, current events, and I dibble and dabble a little in politics. I am also currently covering the case of the United States versus Sean P. Diddy Combs. My intention is to definitely attend, if not part of his trial, all of it. So, guys, If you guys want regular updates on what's going on with Diddy, definitely consider subscribing to my new channel today.
To somebody talk for 2 hours easily. It just does, it's just different. And when I look at if the history and the research I've done is correct, people used to pass down information by talking and telling stories. They people didn't always write shit down and read. And I think that's why it still exists today, that it's not uncommon for people to not want to fucking read. It's not uncommon for people to be like, I fucking hate reading. Yes. And it doesn't mean that their concentration is being eroded, or they're not intelligent, or their frontal lobe and their pineal gland is calcified. It just means that they don't fucking like reading. And I have experienced reading a book only to get to the end and not remember shit I read, but feeling good just because I had read. I don't remember shit from that book. And I learned that in school. I was like, I don't have to take this shit seriously, because y'all's test of my knowledge stops when I pass the test. I was like, oh shit, this shit fake. This shit fake. I'm like, all I gotta do is retain this information long enough to pass this test, and I yield all the results, yield all the rewards of being a straight A student. I'm like, why am I even stressing my brain out? All I got to do is find a way to remember this shit long enough to pass the test, and I can throw it out, because I know damn well I'm not going to use this shit in my life, because I'm not even using it in the next grade. I'm not even using this shit in the next grade. I'm telling you, I'm the same way, Moonchild. I can watch it can be a 2 hour long documentary, and I'll sit there and I'll remember and pay attention to what it was those people are saying. But trying to read for 2 hours and 30 minutes, I'll be like, man, I'm through with this shit. I'm through with this. I'm through with this shit. I'm through with this shit. Here, here. I don't. That's why it's very important to be okay with who you are, because that comparison will fuck your shit up. It will have you thinking you're less than capable or less than able, because you can't do it the way other people do it, or the way people said you should do it. There, that's how people progress. When somebody decides to do it their way, irregardless of how other people are doing it or the way that it was done. You cannot get innovation without creativity, and you can't get creativity doing shit the exact same way that other people have done it, or the way that it has always been done. Comparison is the thief of joy. Is it? Or does that shit just sound good and people just run with it? Is comparison the thief of joy? I don't fucking know. It sounds good, so why not just run with it and say it on a podcast or something? Everything that sounds good is not true. It is not. Everything that sounds good is not fucking true. That shit sound good though. That shit sound like it should be true. Should be wrong as hell. Made that mistake. Well, if you think that Moonchild, run with it. Run with it, nigga. Run with it. You think I'm about to go back and forth with you? Hotline said, I can't argue with you. I'm happy happy. Leave me alone. What Bruce Lee said, when my opponent expands, I contract. And when my opponent contracts, I expand. Whenever I notice somebody they going in on something, I just step away. Just back on that. Yeah, you got it, my boy. You thought we about to argue, huh? Nope. In order for there to be a fight, you have to have somebody that's gonna fight back. Otherwise, you're gonna be punching the air. In order for a conflict to happen, I have to be just as serious about the shit as you are, or just as upset about the situation as you are. But it's that shit is demotivating trying to bother somebody and get a reaction out of somebody that just don't care. And I realize that's what some people be looking for. They be looking for a reaction. It's 8:30. Not bad. What's going on? I don't know how to say that shit, man. People have lost the art of conversing. I don't even speak on people because I, I don't know that many people. That is true, Luciferian. I agree. I agree. I agree with that statement. I agree with that statement. Oh, but you can stop saying that's true. Hell, I don't know. I could just either say I agree or disagree, really. As soon as we think something is true, we can find an example of somebody who's doing the total opposite. Crazy. But I will agree with that statement. Who cares? Since when did life become so goddamn serious? So what? So what? So what if people doing stuff? It's an on point observation. Is it? Is it really? Or do we swear at different moments in our life that we actually know what we're talking about? It makes us feel good, don't it? To make us feel like we know what the hell we talking about. But we always are subject to being proven wrong, right? I think so. Nihilism. I have no idea what that is. I don't even think I even need to know. I don't even know what nihilism is. I don't need to know. I'm starting to rely more on what people refer to as intuition. I just pay attention to how I feel. Because I recall carbonation being so adamant about dismissing feelings. Your feelings don't matter. Facts over feelings. The universe doesn't care about your feelings. All of these statements that made you feel like you couldn't trust how you felt, and that how you felt needed to be ran through some type of a confirmation system to determine whether or not your feelings were accurate or not, as if having the feelings themselves is not enough of an indication that something could be going on here. So I rely on my feelings a lot now, just because carbonation spent and continues to spend such an excessive amount of time making sure you get rid of those feelings, and that you deny those feelings, and that you dismiss those feelings and doubt those feelings. So I'm like, feelings must be a powerful force due to so much effort and energy that was put towards getting rid of them. That's what's up, Cash Barbie. I'm telling you, Moonchild. That has also caused me to like, I don't really care about the science. And I know, I don't care about the science and the articles and the equations and all that shit. What I care about is, how does this shit make me feel? I agree, Miss Quills, with that last statement. I don't know what the hell you was talking about before that. We have feelings for a reason and should honor them. That's good enough for me right there. I can agree with that. We have feelings for a reason and should honor them. I agree. Does that mean that you should fucking act upon every feeling you have? No. Am I saying that all critical thought and reasoning should just be put secondary and you should just go with however you feel? No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying that I think that sometimes we can rely too heavily on somebody else's data and experimentation. Thank you for that, Tay Tay 1500. Feelings are very powerful. I think that reading energy is a skill. I'm getting good at this shit. I feel like the more you come to know your default vibe, I think that it becomes that much more easier to recognize who and what is messing up that damn vibe. is, Moonchild. It is. I'm going to say that again. I think the more you sit with yourself and recognize your own vibe, the more easier it becomes to recognize who and what is fucking up your vibe. But speaking on body language, even body language is not a definitive science. Certain body gestures and movements need context to determine what they actually mean, because crossing your arms doesn't mean one thing. It can mean different things depending upon the context of the situation. Motherfuckers, I remember in carbonation, you cross your arms, it meant that you was closing yourself off. Oh, now I feel you on that, Quills. That was a lot. That a lot of that was going on in carbonation. You're not allowed to process feelings. You have to immediately go to the thoughts of why you're feeling like that and how you need to change those thoughts. You shouldn't be feeling like that. Like, that shit is crazy. Like, you should be allowed to feel all feelings, but that doesn't mean you have to act on them. I think that people should be able to feel the entire spectrum of emotions, but that don't mean we have to act out in those feelings. I think that's the problem. I think you can be angry. It's not even, I don't even have to tell you to be angry. Everybody's going to get angry. Everybody's going to get irritated about something, some way or another. But how do you deal with those emotions is the only issue that can arise. And I don't give a damn if you're a pastor. I don't care if you're a spiritual guru or a monk. Everybody gets irritated. Everybody gets frustrated. Everybody gets upset. Everybody gets sad. Everybody gets depressed. Everybody experiences the full range of emotions. Ain't nobody no goddamn robot that has the ability to turn off emotions or to be absent of emotions. It's just about how you deal with them. You can be angry. You go to the gym and get that shit out. You know what I'm saying? Deal with that shit. Nobody got hurt. No property was damaged. Everything good. You didn't hurt yourself. You didn't hurt nobody else. What's the issue here? The issue wasn't you being mad. The issue was how you was going to deal with it. That's the only issue. The issue is not the emotions. The issues is how we deal with them sometimes. That's it. That's it. And that co-environment was on some bullshit. That shit was telling you shouldn't even be having the feelings. That's crazy. Basically, to withhold somebody from having feelings is to withhold their humanity. You're asking them to not be human. Shit crazy. Shit's absolutely ridiculous. 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 But I think that's enough. I'll see y'all next.
Oh yeah. Sometimes you end up with somebody you really don't want to be with, and others left to figure it out. Check it.
She was more than a woman, a goddess for all to see. And all I ever needed was her right here loving me. For a while we were cool and the groove and a love song, but I still remember how it felt when our love was gone.